Captain America Brave New World releases in theaters this week, and I am really excited about it. So I thought it would be fun to go through every single one of my Captain America pops. I even found one of my t-shirts, and let's just jump into this, starting with the first one that ever released back in like 2012. You know what, everybody? Hold on. Before I just start throwing out years here, I can actually check it on the bottom of the foot. It says, whoa, 2011. Even earlier than I thought, and it's just so cool to see this figure still around today. Also, a fun little fact with this figure, you can actually take the shield off of him and swap hands if you'd like to. It's just a nice little feature. Now, for the rest of these, there isn't really any order to them. I just thought we would start with the first one, and I guess, well, with the new movie being out, we should probably jump into Cap Falcon next, which of course we have this one here from the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. It's a pretty great figure and I love this suit. And now if you're wondering, with this one here, the shield does not come off, but I think that Funko still did an amazing job with this. And I think with the shield not being able to come off, they can add a little bit more detail where it actually is like the straps around his arm. I also not too long ago saw an interview with Anthony Mackie and he said that he did not like this suit because his goggles kept fogging up and that's why we're not seeing it in the next movie. I wonder if they also had to like defog his goggles all the time. Like, did that extend the shoot time? I'd love to know. Now, hold on. This isn't the only Falcon cap that I have. I've got this one here, the Blacklight version from the same show. It's a pretty cool one. He's not like flying or anything, but he does have those really vibrant colors, and that's what makes him Blacklight. Like, if you have a Blacklight around, it doesn't glow in the dark unless it has that sticker on the front. But like I said, if you do have that thing, like go to a bowling alley or something, and you'd be able to see it really well. Okay, now let's get into the Age of Ultron Captain America, which is one of the first times I think I went to a Marvel movie in theaters. I can't think of one before that. Like, there might have been a Hulk. Maybe I went to go see it in theaters. I remember the PlayStation 3 game for that movie, but yeah, I don't know if I saw it right away. So anyways, this one's a pretty special one to me because I have a lot of the figures from this movie, and I remember picking them up in stores as it released. It was a lot of fun, and this is just like a really nice updated version because it was one of like the first times we actually got a Captain America after like this original comic book one. There might have been like an original Avengers one somewhere in between, but I don't have that in the collection, so for me, it would have went from that comic book version to, well, this one here. Just like an amazing set in general too. Like, I still have so many of these in my collection. Take a look. Like, that list is stacked. Now let's get into Civil War because I do have a figure specifically for that movie too, and this is again a really cool one and also a little bit updated from the last one we just took a look at. I gotta take this one out of the box because there is something pretty special. Very similar to that original comic book one, you can actually take the shield off of his back. Funko really did an amazing job with this. Like, take a look. So you can see there it is on the back side there, that cap shield, but look at this. It comes out, there's these little holes to kind of like stick them in, and then you can clip it to the front of his arm. Isn't that cool? I mean, come on. It's a really nice feature. Now, my only problem is, which way does it go back in? Okay, now you know what, everybody? I'm looking at my next Civil War one, and we'll have to take it out of the box because I want to see if it has the same feature on this one here, the art series version. For years, Funko was creating these figures where they have, like, this color over top of them. They still do it a little bit, but not as much. And because this one here is the exact same mold as the last one we just took a look at, I gotta see if there's, like, an art series version of the shield on the back, or did they just, like, leave it like regular? To be honest with you, I don't know if I've actually ever taken this one out of the box. Like, I have to think about it. Maybe I did when I first got it, but I can't think of it. Oh, this is interesting. Okay, so look, it actually does have that shield, but it's got like the art series logo all over it of the shield, like in blue and red. And does it come off? No, it doesn't! What? Oh, how did I not know this? The shield, it's stuck there. Funko, why would you do that? Ah, I wanted to put it into his hand. It would have been so fun. But you know what? Now that I think about it, maybe it would have been weird to like dip it because I believe that's how they do these. You know, like they kind of like do that big thing. What's it called? And then they like, there's printing and then you dip it in water and then it covers the whole figure. I'm guessing that's what they do. So if it did have that extra piece, it probably would have been super annoying. Look, I don't know, but either way, it's still a really cool figure. And I'm glad this one comes off. Now hold on, everybody. I was about to move on from Civil War, but then I remembered I have this figure here. It is the Diecast version of Captain America. We'll get to Endgame in a second because that's what's next up. And really quickly, I want to show you this one because it's a little bit different from the rest where it actually comes inside of this acrylic box, very similar to a regular pop box. What's neat about it though is that it's like chiseled into it, and then inside of here, it's a completely metal figure. Okay, let me see if I can open this thing up. Yeah, wow. Take a look at this thing here. It is so crazy, and it is the exact same mold as the one with the removable shield. And I haven't touched the shield yet, so we'll test that out in a second. But first, I want to show you what it looks like with this foam out of here, if I can get it. Ready, it's coming. Hold on. Here we go. Ooh, that is a noise, that's for sure. But let's see this here. So that is the figure and how it would look on the shelf. I totally have to take some of these out of their box and actually display them in my room. But anyways, putting the display off to the side, let's actually take it off the base and see if the shield isn't removable. Well, it's not removable, but yeah, that sucks. It's stuck there again. It would have been so cool to swap it to the front. But I guess very similar to the art series, it might have been a bit weird. I get it. Okay, now everybody, we can get into Endgame. And what's cool about this figure here is that it actually released before we knew the name of the movie, so that's why up here it just says Avengers. Kind of weird, and I believe it was also one of the first times we had seen the suit, and this is a big collection of pops. Like, take a look at them all. This here was a Hot Topic exclusive, and I believe the other version of Captain America was him in that kind of like gray and red suit. Yeah, I see it on the back here. So I enjoy this one a little bit more because it is like that classic Captain America, just again in like an updated version. But now hold on, that's not the only one that I have from Endgame, because I also have this one here. Check it out. It's from the end of the movie. He's got the broken shield, the dirt all over his face, and it glows in the dark. Oh, and how can I forget, he also has Mjolnir in his hand. Like, there's just so much going on. I want to take this thing out so I can even just see it a little bit closer up because I haven't opened it up in a while. Oh, yeah, this thing is amazing. The suit's also metallic, and I'm pretty sure the year that this released, it was like one of the top pops of the year. It must have been. Alrighty, here's a bit of a weird box. It is for Endgame, though, and I'm showing you this entire thing because I don't have them separately. But inside of this here, to go with all of the Infinity Stones, they had blue for Captain America, so you can see all of the different colors. But then, of course, there he is, completely covered in glitter, and of course, he is that blue Infinity Stone. I'm a big fan of this set, and I remember they came out separately as well as together like this, and I wanted to get it in the giant set, because if you do, they have all of the Infinity Stones and the shapes of them in front of the character. They might have had the stone on the front of the single ones, because they did have a base. I just can't think of it off the top of my head, but either way, I wanted this one here because it looks way cooler with them all together. Alright, I'm looking around at the ones that I still have to show you, and there are two more that are kind of like considered regular versions of Captain America, so we're going to start with those, then we'll get into the weirdos of the collection. And this one that I have here is from Captain America, the First Avenger, him with that prototype shield. I remember finding this one in stores and had to pick it up right away because I love the shield on this. I also love the suit that he's in because he's never worn this before, because it is him in, of course, his uniform, and I think that is just such a cool thing to include. Like, come on, everybody, that is just too good of a figure. Also, just realized that this is figure 999 in the Marvel category. I wonder what was 1,000. You know what? Actually, I know the answer to this. It was Doctor Strange, and he actually had a chase where he was blue, and then the box had this really cool kind of like chrome line going all the way around it. It was a lot of fun and super sought after when it first released. And well, anyways, moving this one off, let's get into that last regular version of Captain America that I have, which is going to be this one here, the movie moment of Red Skull versus Captain America. I love this one, and it actually comes from Captain America, the First Avenger, so it's perfect that we talked about both of them together. Now, these didn't release, of course, when Captain America, the First Avenger came out. It would have been way later on. They kind of came back and did some of those original figures from those movies. Because, of course, Funko Pops weren't even around when these movies came out. And if I'm going to be honest with you, I think it's probably a good thing, because then we got way better, more detailed figures that we wouldn't have got when they first came out. And yeah, I think this is just such a fun one. I like the two of them together, and it's like one of the only ways you could get like a reasonably affordable Red Skull. And this one here, when I paid for it, it was over at GameStop, and it was $35, like $36. So still, pretty decent for a big figure like this. Alrighty, now let's get into some weirdos, and I guess we'll start with the least weird out of all of the ones that I have here, and this is going to be the Steve Rogers Captain America, and I guess this here is the second time we got him in his uniform that's not, of course, the Captain America suit. What I love about this one here is that they've actually split him down the middle, and they've done it with a couple different characters, and I think it's just so cool to see it, because it looks wrong. Like, it looks like you photoshopped it together, but no, that's the real figure. Like, I really enjoy the shield as well as the one wing. It's funny. Now, this one that I've got here is actually Captain America from the 100th anniversary of Disney, and it's the facet version of him, where he's supposed to look almost like a cut gem. It's pretty neat, and I like that they also made it pearlescent, which also makes it seem a little bit more premium and shiny. There's really a lot going on here, and for the 100th anniversary of Disney, they did so many different figures and you can see on the back here, it actually has like a real photo of Captain America. It's a lot of fun. There was actually an entire line of 100th anniversary figures in this facet style, and they also went back and did a bunch of characters that we hadn't seen before from Disney. A lot of Disney Channel ones, as well as original movies that, of course, released before Pops were even a thing. Kind of similar to those original Marvel movies that we talked about a little bit ago, and this is definitely one of my favorites. I love the blue, as well as that shield again. It just always looks so good. All right, now let's get into another bigger box, where there's a couple other characters to go along with them, just because I don't have the separate one, and this here is the Blacklight set of course, Doctor Strange, Thor, Iron Man, and you know him, Captain America. It's a pretty fun one, and I believe this suit here is, hold on, is this actually, wait a second, his shield might be removable. Yeah, it looks like, everybody, this is the Civil War version of him, so you know what, since we be trying with all the other ones, I gotta see if it is. Ready, here we go. Is it? Oh, there it is on the back, everybody. I doubt it's gonna be removable, but I hope it is. No! Funko, why did you do this to me? Like, bring back the removable shield. It looks like it's only ever happened with 2 figures, and it's weird that, like, the same Civil War cap doesn't have it all the way through. I don't get it. Like, why not? Okay, everybody, you know, like a hardwood floor? Yeah, that's what we're getting into next here. It is the wood deco Captain America. I know, a bit of an odd one. They did about 4 of these, I believe. There was an Iron Man as well as a Spider-Man. I've got this entire set, but yeah, it's just such a weird thing for them to make, and that's why I think I like it. Very similar to the art series figures, but instead of making them, you know, like with all the things around the entire figure, like the little like symbols and like fun pictures, they did it so it looks like a piece of wood. And you know what? I think I would have liked these ones, or maybe they would have lasted longer if, very similar to the Diecast figures, they actually made these out of wood. I wonder if they would ever do that in the future, because that would be really interesting to see, like a wood Funko Pop. I would totally pick them up. Now, everybody, I guess it's kind of fitting. You know, there's Easter every year, and well, the next one that we have here is the chocolate Captain America that released for Easter, I believe was last year or the year before. What's kind of fun about this one is that they actually have like the chocolate wrapping coming off of the bottom, and it really does look like chocolate, and it seems like they've kind of put like, you know, the dark chocolate with the milk chocolate to give like the bit of accent, so the eyes are a bit darker, as well as the letter A on the front. Now, they haven't just done it in this style for Marvel, because there was also Mickey and Minnie as well as the Turtles, and I'm hoping that they continue with weird stuff like this, because I do really enjoy it, very similar to the wood deco one. Alrighty, we're getting into a big figure here. This is the zombie Captain America from What If. There is also a regular size version of this, but I don't have it in the collection. I figured if I was gonna get one of them, I might as well go for the big one, because it's just a lot cooler. What's funny about this one too is that he doesn't have a broken shield, even though I would have assumed the zombie version would have a worse looking shield, but I guess he's just a zombie, not a monster. Actually though, now that I say that, he does have a broken shield in Endgame, so I don't know. Either way, I think it's funny that this one's just like a little bit dirty. I gotta take a look at him from the front, because it's just, there's so many weird things going on. Like, he's dragging his foot, the one leg doesn't even have a shoe on, he's also missing like a sleeve, and his teeth are disgusting. He needs to brush those. Okay, this one is a bit of a weird one. Actually, maybe the weirdest out of all of them. This is Cap Wolf. Now, on the back here, it doesn't just say Captain America. It's actually got the comic book logos for Man and Wolf and, well, of course, Captain America. And if you guys want to take a look, so I guess it's, I don't actually know. Like, I was gonna say it's like a bit of a collaboration or like a mashup, but whatever this is, I think it's just so cool. And when it released, I was like, yes, I have to get this. Again, like a lot of the other ones, right away. Because it's just like such a weird, obscure Captain America that probably happened in like 1 or 2 comics, or honestly, with the way that Marvel Comics is, it might have been an entire comic series. I'd have to look that up. Oh wow, it actually looks like it was a full story arc. It wasn't just like a one-off comic. That is pretty interesting. It went from July to October of 1992. So it got a couple good months in there, and that's honestly why I think I enjoy this so much, because like, it happened in 1992 for a few months, and then Funko turned it into a figure. And now, everybody, the weirdest probably out of all of them. I know, we're beating Cap Wolf here. It is Bullseye the Target Dog with, well, a Captain America shirt on. If you guys don't know what's up with this one, I'll read the back here. It says, Marvel fans spotted. Pop Bullseye in a Captain America shirt is ready to celebrate Marvel's 85th anniversary. There was also another version that they did, which was Bullseye wearing a Spider-Man t-shirt. I have that one as well, but I mean, come on, this one's just too good. It also makes sense with him too, because, oh, and this would have been really cool, now that I think about it. They totally should have done Bullseye's eye to be like Captain America's shield. They didn't, and it's probably to keep the brand going with Target, Target, of course, because otherwise it would just be a dog wearing like a Captain America shirt. But hey, still amazing, and this was exclusive to D23, so it was pretty hard to get. And well, everybody, there we go. That is all of my Captain America Funko Pops, and I hope you guys did enjoy this video. And if you guys want to see more Captain America stuff, definitely hit subscribe, because there will be more coming this weekend, of course, with the new movie releasing. But anyways, though, I'll see you tomorrow!